When I was a young boy, my parents would fight at night. Of course, I learned on later on in life that I wasn't the only one. It was a common thing, I'm sure it still is. But I don't want to harp on that necessarily. What I'd like to talk more about is the morning after. So I remember the morning after waking up feeling pretty heartbroken and traumatized by some things that I'd heard or seen the night before and how nobody else talked about it. There were family members sitting around the kitchen table. Nobody said a word. And sometimes people that slept over and they just were still around or they'd gone home. Nobody was asking if we were okay, if I was okay, if I wanted to talk about what happened, or nobody called to check up, the day after. And when I went to school, possibly super depressed and heartbroken, nobody was asking if everything was okay at home and whatnot. So um, I eventually started to believe that there was something wrong with me and that I was too sensitive, basically because a lot of people had been telling me all my life that I was too sensitive. So I thought, I'm too sensitive and something's wrong with me and I should just let this go and not talk about it and put it in the bottle and put the top on the bottle. And how that impacted my life a lot through being mistreated or being um, treated a certain way, whether it's mistreated or not, and allowing a bunch of things. It kind of put a filter over my decisions that I couldn't trust my gut or my feelings, or I couldn't trust my instinct. I couldn't trust my warning signs or the red flags because I was too sensitive and everything was too acute or too dialed up, and I couldn't rely on that. With that said, sensitivity, which I do have, I consider one of my greatest gifts. And I'm happy that it wasn't snuffed out, that I could still keep it alive. And recently, in my recovery and in my life, to actually feed it with the fuel that it needs to thrive, in order that I can do things like this for people or be there for my family or try to be a better man in general. So I made a video a little while ago about people who plant things in our gardens, and we turn around one day and we ask, what is that? What's that doing there? And why is that? And doubt for me was one of them. Uh, the doubt that comes from questioning yourself, putting yourself second, your opinion second, and doubting your gut, your instinct, your intellect, your emotions, your vibe, whatever it is that you want to tap into. Being a believer, that can also be for me the Holy Spirit, God, this connection, this antenna that I have inside me that guides me, and to trust that, to open up to that, to remove all the layers of the onions. And the layers of the onions would be things said to us by parents, not pointing fingers, but parents, siblings, bullies, teachers, um, anybody we come across that imposes their limiting beliefs on us and tries to keep us down, to remove all the layers of those onions and to tap inside and see that you can do this, whatever it is that you want to do. And if we're talking within the confines of recovery and getting straight and getting sober and creating a wonderful life for ourselves, this is where you remove the layers of the onions, remove the doubt, even if it seems like it's part of your life and in your bloodline and you're just meant for it. It's not. You can break the chain, you can sever the bloodline and make future generations be better and be happy and in recovery and away from the shackles of addiction.